If your strategy has suddenly stopped working after you were eating, talking about you were catching trades, you were making money, why is that? First off, man, look, don't panic. All it means is the market has changed and it's time to adapt. It's normal. It's completely normal. You feel me? So again, in the words of Rick Ross, the old song, man, don't panic. We're gonna break this down, man. Successful traders, we have to evolve over time to market conditions. And we're gonna break down how we're gonna do that. If you're new to the channel, my name is James Strong. And first off, welcome if you're new, and welcome back if you've been before, man. You know, we make videos about investing in the financial markets, specifically investing for the short term by trading futures and investing for the long term by buying stocks and holding for asset appreciation and wealth accumulation. Because we don't trade or invest, we trade and invest. And this combination is how we fast track our way to financial freedom. Strategies stop working all the time. And this is also too, man, just being real, why I no longer make strategies, right? I show my students how to fish. I'm not giving them a fish by just showing them a pattern they can memorize or, just spit out over and over and over, right? We need to learn the market is a living, breathing organism. That's all it is, right? It is just data. Candlesticks represent data. Open, close, high, low, right? High today, low today. All this stuff is data. That's why indicators that can be powerful, but yet they're always lagging. And so when you learn how to just use price and use what it's telling you real time, you can always be the indicator, because indicators are just math equations. They take all the numbers, volume, time, and price, and they put them in a formula and they break it down in an easily digestible format. But the thing is, these indicators are always lagging. Even the EMA, you understand, is lagging because it has to take 50 EMA has to take the last 50 candles and get the exponential moving average and put them together. You feel me? But shoot, I'm right here right now, right? I already know what's going on because I got eyes to see and ears to hear. You feel me? So we need to learn how to adapt with this stuff, man. When the market conditions change, our strategy and our system needs to change. Simple as that. And most importantly, if you have a strategy, I would encourage you to start learning how to actually build a system. Look at how price moves and all type of things, right? This is what I teach my students. Learn how price moves, why it moves, when it moves, and where institutional investors are trying to go. And you don't have to worry about eating again or a strategy dying. I've been there, done it. Trust me. I remember when I make a strategy and all of a sudden the time of year changed. I'm like, bro, come on, dog. Like, I was just about to pass the eval back then, or I was about to dot. And now it's just like clockwork, because once I got to that point in my journey where I learned how to actually build a system, nothing changes. That's why if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see I post some trades on my story. Like the last five profits I post on Instagram. Crude oil, like 3K, right? I had a Canadian dollar, 3K. I had a doesn't matter about the dollar amount. I'm not gonna say the dollar amount, right? Crude oil, a Canadian dollar. I had a this week I had a New Zealand dollar. I'll have NASDAQ. I can trade anything because price is price. But when you have a specific strategy, you'll see why some people are like, oh, only NAS, or oh, only this. Nothing wrong with that either. Just understand, if you want to be more well versed, you have to start learning how to have a system-based trading model and not just a strategy and having a pattern you look for only. You know what I mean? Hey man, it's our profession, right? So understand, it's just something to think for as you continue to grow on this journey. You know what I mean? Just some gems I want to drop for y'all as family who are watching this video. You feel me? So if your strategy's no longer working though, what are things, man, we can do, man? Well, first off, like I said, understand that volatility, liquidity, and time play a factor. That's number one, right? What time of day is it? What time of the year is it? Right? How much volume is in the market? Did news just come out? So many different things. So make sure you individually understand these things too. Next, don't be quick to abandon the strategy. Sometimes, man, it needs a little TLC. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if you were to throw away your clothes every time they get dirty. You feel me? You got a wash machine. Clean the thing up, man. Clean that thing up and wash it. You know what I mean? You still can look fresh. Just because your armpits were a little sweaty that day, don't mean you got to throw the whole shirt away. Just because your ass was stinking, don't mean you got to throw the drawers away. You feel me? Go and wash them up now. Wash them up, man, and now you good for another day. So sometimes the strategy just needs tweaking. It needs adjusting. And oftentimes, man, some people are overfitting their system or strategy, right? Number one, most people don't trade a system, they trade strategies, but so I'll use strategy. A lot of people are overfitting their strategy to past data. But again, what's happening in real time? Yes, past data is important, but this is the thing. Some people like to say history often repeats itself. Well, no, history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. So it has a rhythm. You understand? A rhythm and similarities, but it's not identical. That's why sometimes the strategies stop working when they work fine for that whole 3 to 6 month period. And all of a sudden it's not now. It's because the rhythm changed a little bit, just a little bit. You know what I mean? Just a little bit, but enough too to where it can throw you off and mess up your money. You know what I mean? You already know if it affects our pay, it affects our day. So we got to talk about it. We got to adjust to it. We can't be having that because this is how we feed our loved ones, how we take care of ourselves. And this is how we expedite our way to financial freedom. You feel me? So we need to adapt, but we need to adapt without overreacting. So first and foremost, let's adjust to the risk parameters. Let's adjust our risk parameters to the market conditions, right? This week is crazy with news. Maybe you need to start studying the fundamentals and seeing like how that impacts your strategy, your system, right? Understand that when you're trading, because I know, and again, I just taught this to my students the other day. I know when to not trade. I know when to sit out and not be in a trade. Like I can look and be like, nah, I'm good. That doesn't mean there's no opportunities, but I don't want my probability to be low to where I'm damn near gambling. You understand? I put real money at risk. When I put my money at risk, I want to make sure that I'm getting back way more than I'm putting in. You understand what I'm saying? Over time. Like it's different when you really work for it and it's yours. You know what I mean? So like we all work in this business. This is our business. Treat it like a business. Don't just be out here willy-nilly gambling thinking you about to hit, some bull run like it's you bought Bitcoin at $200 or something like that. Side note, man, one of my man from back in the day from high school told me about Bitcoin when it was at $200 and like $212. I didn't know what a Bitcoin was, man. I was like 17. No, I was like 19 and 18. 18. I obviously wish I'd have bought some now, but you know what I mean? That's why we invest now. That's one of the reasons why I don't just talk about trading. I talk about investing in the stock market because this is some game. We're going to get right back on trading. But again, we're investors. We're not traders, man. If you here, you an investor. Trading falls under the umbrella of investing. All right. That's just short-term investing. And then our stocks are long-term. If you have bought Nvidia back in the day, like 20 years ago, the stock went up over like 81,000%. And that's not a typo or mispronunciation, nothing. So literally what I mean is basically for every $1,000 you would put in, if you had put in like 20, 25 years ago, you would have had like basically $810,000 per $1,000. You know what I mean? Netflix went up like, I think like 50 something thousand%. Same thing like 20, 25 years ago. So that's why we take this capital we earn from trading and we put it in our long-term investments, because that's money that's going to work for us while we sleep. This money we got to work for. We got to sit here and be patient, be diligent. You know what I mean? Sit on our hands and wait for the right A+ setups. But when it comes to that, that's going to work. I'm going to do my research up front. I'm going to buy into companies I believe in. I'm going to buy into companies who have good management. I'm going to let them do their thing. And you only need a few of those, man. A few of those to change your life and your family's life forever. You feel me? Think about that. Think about if you had put $5,000 only into Nvidia. Man, you'd be sitting like $3 million right now plus. That's a good little change in 20 years, man. Not doing nothing, not even thinking about it. And all you got to do is find the right players over time. So, back to this one, man, like adapt to that stuff, man. Avoid emotional attachment to these trades and just adapt. Avoid emotional attachment to any investments, long or short. Just understand that this is a part of our play, a part of our move or what we're doing, right? And then make sure you test that thing, man. Test number one when you back testing. And then if you need to, go demo test or go very light. If you want to go live with it, just go light and do something you can handle. But keep this thing simple, man, because simplicity wins all the time over complexity. Like the way I teach, the way I explain things, the way I talk to my students, the way I trade, it's very simple. And it takes a very wise man to keep something so complex as trading and investing so simple, right? A fool can make something sound complex, but it takes a wise man to break something down to where a 5-year-old or a child can understand it. And that's how you want to be, right? More rules does not make your strategy better. Oftentimes it just dilutes it and overcomplicates it for no reason, to where you can't even, it makes it too tight and it suffocates it, right? There's no room to breathe. So just remember all these things, man, and understand that the best traders evolve with the market. It's normal, this stuff is going to change, but learn to evolve, learn to adapt, and learn to adjust, and you'll be just fine, man. If you like making money, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you don't like making money, of course, don't subscribe. It's that simple. Let me know how you adjust your strategy, and if you ever have adjusted, or if you hitting this problem right now, man, talk to me. This is a community. You know what I mean? We are growing. This is a community of investors that, we all want to win. We all want to succeed. And, we all can learn from each other and grow. We all on our journey. Ain't nobody stopping. I hope you're not stopping to getting comfortable, man. If so, you on the wrong channel. We got to get this money because this is bigger than us, man. This is for our family. It's for our loved ones, man. We got to do this. This is for generations. You feel me? We got to get this money so then we can start doing things like getting trust and all types of things in our family's name and having that be invested in all type of stuff, man. So again, I ain't going to go down too much, man. I don't talk about that stuff in these videos, but let's do our thing, man. Until next time, much love.